Hello, this is Mr. Rajiv with my new podcast, Review in 10 Minutes. This particular segment is episode number 4, which is about my review on movie Shazam Fury of the Gods and whether it's worth watching. So tune in and happy listening. Shazam Fury of God is the second part of Shazam movie series directed by David F. Steinberg, who is a Swedish filmmaker who has also directed the earlier Shazam movie, which was the part 1. Casting remains the same from the Shazam part 1 movie. The lead character who plays Billy Batson or Shazam is Zachary Levi, which we all know from, which is famously known from a series called Chuck, and the child actor who plays Shazam is named Asher Angel. There are a few additional supporting cast who's mostly doing the villain work, and the notable names which I know of are Lucy Liu, which we know from Charlie Angel's Old One and Kill Bill movie series. There is another famous actress who is in the movie, which is Helen Mirren. Her we know from Fast and Furious movie and National Treasure, one of the parts I think, and she's also there in Collateral Beauty, I think, which is a Will Smith movie. And there's a special appearance which is kind of a spoiler for whoever did not watch the movie Shazam Fury of God yet, which is Wonder Woman itself appearing in the very end credit scenes. Now coming to the movie, whether it's worth watching or not. So yes, definitely we can watch it couple of times depending on the period we allow in between. Just to be upfront, this movie's, as per me, this is better than Black Adam's. Now coming to the review of the movie, movies has the same tone as the previous one, which is not mostly changed, and hence the movie is mostly a goofy and comedic version of a comic character with his family, and the character half of the time acting as a childish or behaving as a teenager, which is the crux and the logic behind the whole character. The movie starts with showing that each of those teenagers in the foster family were struggling with their own problem. Even having the superpower, they have to hide it from their foster parent, and they have to deal with it, and they have a secret cage where they work together. They be themselves as with the superpower. Discuss their meeting where they show that Billy is some kind of leader to them, who is still not been accepted by his friends as a leader. And in parallel, Billy is growing up from moving from teenager to a young person, and that is something he's worried, because once he's above certain age, he's no longer a teenager, and he has to move out of the foster house which he loves and where he got most of his friends from. So that would be the beginning. After that, there was a scene where the villain of the movie make entry to. The villains are basically a magic god from the earlier time period. The villains names were Hespera, Calypso, and there was one little character named Anthea, who later appeared in one of the movie sequence or movie scenes with Freddy, the character. The next shot usually went through the museum where the magic god possesses some kind of a scepter with the magic in it, which they're trying to repossess. As we go through movie, we came to know that this is something being stolen by humans a long time before from the gods, and that is what the whole movie is about, taking revenge or taking the magic which is taken by humans a long time back to the rightful owners, which are magic gods. Movie has a lot of cool creatures. So one few to name is Unicorn, who is an angry unicorn, and there is a flying dragon as well, just to name a few. fight sequences are mind-blowing, and in between, if you see few of the shots, you will see that most of the Shazam shots are like Superman creatures. So the whole movie is kind of made to make you believe that this is an actual Superman level movie, right? Instead of being darker, it has a lighter tone to it and a comedic nuance to it. There are final rounds of battle alongside with the Helen Mirren character, which is Hespera, to fight her evil sister Calypso, which is portrayed by Lucy Liu. In the end, a very planned and very nicely put fighting sequence where Shazam wins in the end and becomes unconscious for a long time, and his family thought him or perceived that Shazam is dead now, and they try to bury him, do the funeral, and that's where the end post and credit scene comes, where you will see later in the movie, in that end credit scene, that he started to wake up from the tomb itself, where Shazam has been buried by his family. And before the end, there is a special entry of Wonder Woman, which is, as I mentioned, kind of a spoiler who haven't watched it, talking to Shazam itself for a shorter amount. And so that's the review. Hope I didn't spoil the movie for anyone. The lesson which we get from this movie is same as the last one, I guess. So family is important, and there is a family sharing power to keep each other protected. And basically movie focus on problem of showing the problems of teen growing up and how they handle exceptionally alongside with the power and the responsibility they possess. So this is the conclusion of the review. Tune in, happy listening. We'll post the episode 5. If you have any messages or if you have any cue about